Hello, wonderful and beautiful people of God. This is your friend and your sister. You're welcome back to my channel, Elizabeth Mo. So today I'm going to be talking about something. It's actually going to be like a series, but I'm just going to start first. And we're going to be talking about the book of Joseph. We're going to be talking about Joseph in the Bible. We're going to go back to Genesis. What are the things that we can actually learn from this person that we call Joseph? So I'm going to be reading it out to you, and I'm going to be saying some things about it, and we carry on from there. That's what we're going to be doing. So before we go into this very thank each and every one of you that have been watching my videos. I want to thank those of you that have been sharing them with your friends. Thank you so much. I also want to say thank you because I know that you will watch this video to the end. You will want to watch the series to the very end. You're going to drop me your comments. So I'm saying thank you to you in advance. Hello, wonderful and beautiful people of God. This is your friend and your sister. You're welcome back to my channel, Elizabeth Mo. So today we're going to continue with the story of Joseph that we began some few weeks ago. But I took a break in between because life happened. Yeah, let me just leave it like that. Life happened. So I had a little break and now I'm ready to continue to go on, and I'm so glad. I want to thank those of you that have left comments for me. I am so glad while I was reading these comments of how the life of Joseph was really blessed you from your childhood, how it's good for you that you've been reading Joseph, and Joseph, the story of Joseph really inspires, you know. And I'm so glad that we're doing this at this time, because I believe that anyone else that comes to watch this that does not even know what God has done through Joseph will be able to see this, will be able to know this. So Genesis chapter 40, and thank you so much for all of you that have subscribed to my channel. I'm so grateful that I've got you. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for sharing with your friends and family as well. Thank you so very much. So Genesis 40, that's what we're reading today. And it starts by saying Joseph interprets two dreams. Let's remember that it was this dream that Joseph had that got him to where he was today. And now he's now in a position to interpret dreams. Meanwhile, his own dream was not no one could interpret it for him. And that landed him in another land. But let's continue. Joseph interprets two dreams. Sometime later, Pharaoh's chief cupbearer and chief baker offended their royal master. Pharaoh became angry with these two officials, and he put them in the prison where Joseph was, in the palace of the captain of the guard. They remained in prison for quite some time, and the captain of the guard assigned them to Joseph, who looked after them. Now Joseph is in the prison, but now he is also looking after all the prisoners in the prison. We remember what brought him to the prison. That was when he fled from the wife of Pharaoh. And they had to land in the prison. The first time it was in the slavery detention, let me put it like that, in the slavery detention, and now he's back to the prison. So while they were in prison, Pharaoh's cupbearer and baker each had a dream one night, and each dream had its own meaning. When Joseph saw them the next morning, he noticed that they both looked upset. That must really be a caring person, for you to just look at somebody and notice that something has gone wrong. He must be really caring. Why do you look so worried today? He asked them. And they replied, we both had dreams last night, but no one can tell us what they mean. Interpreting dreams is God's business, Joseph replied. Go ahead and tell me your dreams. Can we see how Joseph is still bringing forth God? He's not saying that interpreting dreams is his own business or what he knows how to do best. But he says it is God's business. It's what God knows how to do most. And he said, bring it on. So the chief cupbearer told Joseph his dream first. In my dream, he said, I saw a grapevine in front of me. The vine had 3 branches that he began to bud and blossom, and soon it produced clusters of ripe grapes. I was holding Pharaoh's wine cup in my hand, so I took a cluster of grapes and squeezed the juice into the cup. Then I placed the cup in Pharaoh's hand. This is what the dream means, Joseph said. The 3 branches represent 3 days. Within 3 days, Pharaoh will lift you up and restore you to your position as the chief cupbearer. And please remember me and do me a favor when things go well with you. Mention me to Pharaoh, so he might let me out of this place. For I was kidnapped from my homeland, the land of Hebrews, and now I'm here in prison, but I did nothing to deserve it. When the chief baker saw that Joseph had given the first dream a positive interpretation, he said to Joseph, I had the dream too. In my dream, there were 3 baskets of white pastries stacked on my head. The top basket contained all kinds of pastries for Pharaoh, but the birds came and ate them from the basket on my head. This is what the dream means, Joseph told him. The 3 baskets also represent 3 days. 3 days from now, Pharaoh will lift you up and impale your body on a pole. Then birds will come and peck away at your flesh. At this point, I would love to say here that we can say that both dreams, they look similar, don't they? They quite look similar. They had 3 days in them. They had 3 different things in them. Both of them were offering service to the king. But they don't mean the same thing. And I'm using this time to talk to people who give interpretation of dreams. People who give interpretation of dreams. Because dreams look similar doesn't mean that they're going to happen the same way. No. No. I think this just goes ahead to tell us that, look, except the Lord helps you to interpret dreams, except the Lord gives you insight into knowing this, there is no way you could get it right. By thinking, no way you could get it right. Like I said, they both have 3 in them. They both shows that they were offering services to the same king. But they do not mean the same thing. One was for death and the other was for life. So most times when you look at dreams, it's a matter of life and death. So it is either you get it right and do the right thing, or you get it wrong. So it's just a warning. Yeah, I'm going to use that word. It's just a warning for those of us, pastors, prophets, preachers, that goes around interpreting dreams because they seem alike. And then you use it to interpret for the other person. You're causing doom for the person. Listen to God before you do anything. Pharaoh's birthday came 3 days later, and he prepared a banquet for all his officials and staff. He summoned his chief cupbearer and his chief baker to join the other officials. He then restored the chief cupbearer to his former position so he could again hand Pharaoh his cup. But Pharaoh impaled the chief baker just as Joseph had predicted when he interpreted the dream. Did you see that? I have to come back to this interpreting of dreams things. Now, when you do the right thing, when you interpret the dreams correctly, the gift of God inside of you or the talents that God has given you would make men be attracted to you. It will make men to be attracted to you. And that's what we're going to see in the next chapter. How Pharaoh hurriedly called for Joseph. That's what we'll be reading in the next chapter. So Pharaoh's chief cupbearer, however, forgot all about Joseph, never giving him another thought. So just exactly as he had seen in the dream, exactly what Joseph told him about the dream was what happened to both of them. In 3 days' time, their lives were going to be changed forever. Because one died. The other person was installed. In just 3 days. So what are the things that we think we can learn from the story so far? What are the things that God is speaking to us as concerns this? Talking about Joseph, the life of Joseph, especially how he interprets dreams. I think this will go ahead to let us know that we should give everything to God first. Ask God. And don't just say because you've seen a goat, then it means that it's a goat that you're going to eat. Or don't just let it mean that, oh, because it's 2 days time or whatever thingy, you just give it a kind of a meaning and then you sell it out to everybody. No, no. We may all have similar dreams, but they all do not mean the same thing. Because God is speaking different things at different times to us. We all do not have the same journey. We're not treading on the same journey. We're not threading on the same path. We all have different things. And God meets us where we are. Yeah. According to what we are doing. From this verse 40, we can see the God factor in people. How he and display or the exhibit of excellence. You can see the God factor, which means that God knows each and every one of us. When God wants to speak with you, he knows how to come to you. You don't have to be a Christian. You don't have to be an Hindu. You don't have to be an atheist. John 3:16 says that, for God so loved the world that whosoever, I'm going to stop there, whosoever. What does that whosoever, what does it mean? Does it just mean Moriah? Does it just mean Christians? Does it just mean Muslims? No, it says whosoever. And that is playing out here. Whosoever. So God knows how to meet you. He knows when to speak to you. So I believe that as Christians, we should love the truth and disdain the opposite thing. So whenever you want to try to interpret dreams, if it's not the truth, if you're looking at the monetary gains, stop it. Drop it. Don't do it. No. Don't do it. So that is where I'm going to be stopping today. We can see that Joseph has interpreted 2 dreams successfully. But his own dream landed him in prison. It's a mystery, isn't it? Till I come your way again next time, I want you to remain blessed. I pray that the Spirit of God will minister unto you and you will see 1 or 2 things that you can bring out, that you can draw for. It doesn't matter if you've read Joseph, if you've read about the story of Joseph days, years, months ago. But we know that there is always a new thing that God wants to reveal. I will be glad if you can, by yourself, take some time off to read this. Genesis chapter 40. And see what God is saying. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming to my channel. Thank you for all that you're doing. Thank you for getting me where I am at this time. Over 900 subscribers. Thank you for getting me here. And then I hope to bring more things your way. So, bye.